Hi friends, I am Vedika from 8th grade of Marg Vidhyalaya. Today I will explain you about carbon cycle. Carbon cycle is the biochemical cycle by which carbon is exchanged in our biosphere. Carbon is mainly found in two elements. Those are carbon dioxide, that is CO2, and methane. Now let's look into a carbon cycle. Carbon cycle mainly starts in plants. Plants take some carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. In return, they give us food. Food is consumed by animals and humans. Both animals and humans releases CO2 in the atmosphere through the process called respiration. Animals and humans excrete waste which contains methane. This waste is decomposed by microorganisms. Microorganism releases CO2 in the ground and also in the atmosphere. This released CO2 in the ground is used to make fossil fuels. Even carcasses from animals and humans is also used to make this. Now, released CO2 in the ground is also emitted out through volcanic eruption, thus emitting a large amount of carbon into our atmosphere. This CO2 is also absorbed by roots. Last is a factory. Factory releases most of the carbon dioxide into our atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is released in our atmosphere in order to release carbon. Now, these are released carbon dioxide will again be taken by plants. Even C2 absorbs CO2 because the aquatic plants too needs CO2 for its survival. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Jahanan, studying in Marg Vidhyalaya school in grade 8. Today I am going to explain you about the special property of hexagon beehive. Now let's go into the project. Everyone has a question that why bees always use hexagons to make beehives? This answer was first proposed in 36 BC by Marcus Terentius Varro, but it was proven mathematically 2000 years later by Thomas Hales, a mathematician. As it turns out, a hexagonal honeycomb has the smallest total perimeter and therefore it needs less wax to be built. So, hexagons are the perfect design in economizing labor and wax, and that's why bees always use hexagon to make their beehives. And another question is, how did the bees know these hexagonal properties? There are three main reasons for this question. First reason is, when bees make hexagons in their hives, the six-sided shapes fit together perfectly. Second reason, they can hold the queen bee's eggs and store the pollen and honey worker bees bring the hive. The third reason is honeybees have to make and eat about 2 tablespoons of honey. So a bee colony can produce 100 pounds of honey. In some places, they can even produce 300 to 500 pounds. So the structure is important to hold all this weight and protect the honey, especially during in winter. Now you can understand why always bees use hexagons to make beehives. Thank you for watching this video.
Hi all, I am Gokul from grade 8. My topic is Fibonacci sequence. What is a Fibonacci sequence? The Fibonacci sequence is an infinitive sequence in which every number in the sequence is the sum of two preceding numbers in the sequence starting from 0 and 1. The Fibonacci sequence is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55 and 89 and so on. For example, 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. The Fibonacci sequence is significant because of the SO called golden ratio, 1.618 or 0.618. The Fibonacci sequence is one of the most famous formula in mathematics. The mathematical equation describing is xn plus 2 is equal to xn plus 1 plus xn. Some of the real life examples are flower petals, the number of petals in a flower, seed heads, pine cones, shells, tree branches, etc. The Fibonacci numbers are a sequence of whole number like 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. This infinite sequence is called the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence numbers are 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144 and so on. Who discovered Fibonacci sequence? Leonardo of Pisa discovered the Fibonacci sequence in the year 1202. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Shweta from grade 8th. We all know a verb is an action or state of being in a sentence. Now we will see what are forms of verb. There are three forms of verb: V1, V2, V3. V1 is the base form. Example B. V2 is past simple. Example was and they. They would be used according to the sentence. V3 past participle. Example been. There are some more verb types. They are main and auxiliary verb, regular and irregular verb, finite and non-finite verb, gerund, infinitive and participle. Main and auxiliary verb. The main verb of a sentence is used to express the feeling independently of a subject feel or does. Example, Jigglypuff thought deeply for some time. Auxiliary verb. These verbs help the main verb to express its meaning. Example, I am sorry for what I have done. Finite and non-finite verb. This verb agrees with the subject and person or number and changes when the subject changes. This is linked directly to the subject and this indicates the tense. Example, Hanako plays better than Minamoto. Non-finite verb. This is not linked directly to the subject. It has four kinds of verb: to infinitive, bare infinitive, gerund and participle. To infinitive. To infinitive is used as a subject in a sentence. To study continuously for too long is not good. After verb. My mom decided to try the bubble tea. After questions such as when, whom, how and where. Example, please teach me how to do Pompeii correctly. After adjectives. Teachers were disappointed to see our exam marks. After abstract noun. I wish to stay here for another 1 week. Bare infinitive is used after auxiliary. I did not see Cookie anywhere. After verb. We will visit Jeju Island next week. Gerund. A gerund is a verb that as word end with ing form and as function as a noun. Example, climbing is one of the most dangerous sports. Participle, a form of a verb that
Do you all like amusement rides? Do you know what a Ferris wheel is? But before that, let me introduce myself. This is Jessica from grade 8. Today I'm going to explain you about Ferris wheel.
A Ferris wheel is a rotating upright wheel which consists of multiple passenger carrying components that are usually attached to them in such a way they are kept upright, usually by gravity. The first Ferris wheel was invented by George Washington Ferris Jr. The tallest Ferris wheel is in Ain Dubai, UAE. Now let's see how the Ferris wheel works. Thank you.
Hello, I am Sulabha. Today I am going to explain about special properties of hexagon. Behave. As such, nature is made up of several mysteries relevant to mathematics. One such is behave. Why honeybees create hexagonal honeycomb? Let's see. Honeycomb are made up of bee wax, a substance created by worker bees. These bees makes less wax because they need 8 pounds of honey to create 1 pound of wax. Hence, honeybees need a shape that gives them the maximum storage using minimum wax. Now, if the honeycomb is made up of circle, there would be a lot of waste gaps between each shapes as shown in this figure. But to avoid these wastage, there are 3 shapes which can be organized. They are triangle, square and hexagon. In these 3 shapes, hexagon contains more area. Hexagon are the highest sided polygon that fit together. When comparing triangle and hexagon with area, hexagonal honeycomb minimize the material needed and makes them the space efficient. Now let us see how honeybees make a perfect hexagons. The heat formed by the activities of the bees softens the wax and creeps along the network between the holes. These wax hardens in the form of the most favorable layout, making it into hexagon patterns as shown in this figure. Here is a model of a beehive. Here is a closer view of a beehive. According to mathematics, hexagon is the most efficient shape when compared to other shapes. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Hari Patel and today I am going to explain what is DNA all about. All cells require some form of instructions to be able to function properly. They need guidelines, rules, codes for making materials in the cell, and that code is DNA. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, D for sugar and N and A for nucleic acid. DNA contains the information that determines inherited characteristics. It has code for making proteins. DNA is found both in eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. If we take a closer look at the chromatid inside the nucleus, we can see the structure of the DNA. DNA has repeating subunits, and those subunits are called monomers or nucleotides. The nucleotide has 3 main parts: a phosphate group, a sugar and a nitrogen base. In DNA, the name of the sugar is deoxyribose. There are 4 nitrogen bases in DNA. The bases are thymine, adenine, cytosine and guanine. 2 of the bases are purines, which have 2-ring structure, and the other 2 bases are pyrimidines, which have 1-ring structure. Adenine and guanine are purines, cytosine and thymine are pyrimidines. The slanted shape of the DNA molecule causes it to form a spiral or helix. Because DNA is double-stranded, we use double helix to describe its structure. There are 4 scientists who are credited with the discovering of shape of DNA. They are Watson, Crick, Wilkins and Franklin. All of them have received a Nobel Prize for their work. Each of these scientists played a role in piecing together the structure of DNA. They learned that along the sides of the molecule was a backbone made of alternating sugar and phosphate molecules. On the inside, like the rungs of a ladder, are the nitrogen bases. Adenine and thymine form hydrogen bonds together, and cytosine and guanine form hydrogen bonds together. Adenine will always be with thymine and cytosine will always be with guanine because strands of DNA are said to be complementary. Thank you. Stay safe.
Good morning, I'm Ishan Kumar from class 8. Today I am going to tell you about pie chart. What is pie chart? Pie chart is a circle diagram which represents the value of the subject and the frequency. So in this column we have the subject, frequency and the degrees. So in the subject we have maths, science, Hindi, CS and English. In the frequency we have 3, 5, 2, 6, 4. So to get the degrees, we have to plus the frequency. So 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 6 plus 4, we will get the answer 20. So we have to divide it by 360. So if we divide it by 360 divided by 20, we will get 18. So now with the answer, multiply with the frequency. So 3 into 18, 54. 5 into 18, 90. So now we have to use the protractor and measure this and draw this. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Nivedita from Grade 8. Today I am going to say you some interesting facts and about golden ratio. Golden ratio is very interesting topic. It is used in every field and everywhere. The formula of golden ratio is A plus B divided by A. It roughly comes about 1.6 or 1.618. It is used in the fields like constructing buildings, logo for companies and facial beauty. The golden ratio in logos. If you see in this Pepsi, they have done the formula of the golden ratio and they got the answer as 1.61, and this is called the perfect golden ratio. Golden ratio in nature. Do you know that the distance between one leaf and another leaf would be 137.5 degrees? If in this picture you can see that they have done the formula and they got the answer as 1.6, which is the golden ratio. Golden ratio in face. Do you know that how they select Miss World or Miss Universe? They select by measuring their face and they do the formula of the golden ratio. If they get the answer of 1.618, then they introduce them as the Miss World or Miss Universe. Golden ratio in buildings. Do you know that when they took the measure of width of the Taj Mahal and height, it approximately came as 1.618, and this is measured as a golden ratio building. Thank you.
Good morning all. I am Suraj Gupta from 8th grade. Today I am going to see a pie chart. Social media usage in 2021 April month. Instagram 30%, WhatsApp 20%, Twitter 20%, YouTube 70%, Facebook 30%. This is the pie chart of this social media usage. Thank you.
I'm Manoj from 8th grade. I'm going to explain you about pollution of air and water. Air pollution. When air contained by unwanted substance which have harmful effect on both the living and non-living organism. It is referred as air pollution. Water pollution. Whenever harmful substances such as sewage, toxic chemical, silt, etc. get mixed from water. The water becoming polluted, the water is called water pollution. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ray and I'm from class 8th grade in Marg Vidhyalaya. Today I'm going to talk about properties of hexagon.
Start.
Before going to properties of hexagon, I'll give you a small explanation about hexagon and its types. A regular hexagon is a cross-shaped polygon which has 6 equal sides and 6 equal angles. In case of any regular polygon, all of sides and angles are equal. For instance, a regular pentagon has 5 equal sides and regular octagon has 8 equal sides. Types of hexagon. There are different types of hexagon. These are regular hexagon, irregular hexagon, convex hexagon. Properties of hexagon. It has 6 sides and 6 angles. Length of all the sides and the measurement of all angles are equal. The total number of diagonals in a regular hexagon is 9. The sum of all interior angle is equal to 720 degrees, where each interior angle measures 120 degrees. Sum of all exterior angle is equal to 360 degrees, where each exterior angle measures 60 degrees. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good morning. My name is Hariharan and today I am going to show you a working model of water alarm project. We need a HW battery, a battery connector, some wires and a buzzer and a container and some water. We know that water conducts electricity. Today in my project I am going to prove that. If we pour water in this container, when the both wires are in the water, the sound comes from the buzzer. Thank you.
Today I have an interesting topic about quadrilateral family. This is the tray of quadrilateral. Now let's start with trapezium. Trapezium is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel opposite sides. The parallel sides of a trapezium are called bases, and the non-parallel sides of a trapezium are called legs. It is also called as trapezoid. Next is about parallelogram. Parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pair of parallel sides. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal in length, and the opposite angles are equal in measures. Now, the interior angles of the same side of a transversal are supplementary. Sum of all the internal angles are equal, 360 degree. The three types of parallelogram are rhombus, rectangle, and square. Let's see how they differ from each other. Rhombus. Rhombus is a special case of parallelogram and it is a four-sided quadrilateral. In a rhombus, opposite sides are equal and parallel and the opposite angles unequal. Moreover, all the sides of a rhombus are equal in length and the diagonal bisect each other at right angle. The rhombus is also called as diamond or rhombus diamond. Next is about rectangle. Rectangle is a two-dimensional plane figure with four sides. Rectangle is four-sided polygon with opposite sides, parallel and equal to each other. It is one of the type of quadrilateral in which all four angles are equal. Equal are right angles or equal to 90 degree. The rectangle is a special type of parallelogram with which all its angles equal. Next is about square. Square is a regular quadrilateral which has all four sides equal length and all four angles are also equal. The angles of the square at the right angle are equal to 90 degree. Also the diagonal of a square are equal and bisect each other at 90 degree. Next one in the quadrilateral family is kite. The two angles are equal where the unequal sides meet. It can be viewed as a pair of convex triangle with a common base. It has two diagonals that intersect each other at right angle. The longer or main diagonal bisect the other diagonal. A kite is symmetrical about it.
Hello, I am Kaushik from class 8B.
So I'm going to do an experiment with electroscope. Required items: glass, cardboard sheet, tape, copper wire, and 2 pieces of foil sheet, PVC pipe, and a woolen cloth. So let's start. First, forcefully rub the PVC pipe and keep it on the copper wire. So I think you can see it moving like little bit. Procedure: when you are rubbing vigorously, you are transferring electrons from your woolen hand gloves to the plastic PVC pipe. Your woolen hand gloves becomes positive charged while the PVC pipe becomes negative charged. When you are placing the PVC pipe near edge of copper wire, the negative charged electrons gets transferred to the aluminum strings through the copper wire of the electroscope, due to which both the aluminum strings passes and charge and gets replaced from each other. Thank you.
Friends and teachers, I'm Hasni. I'm going to talk about probability. Introduction. On tossing a coin, the outcome will be either head or a tail. The result is easily predictable, or else in playing with dice, the possible outcomes will be 1 to 6. In this, any one will come. The result is not easily predicted. This prediction is called probability. What is meant by probability? What is probability? The likelihood of the occurrence of any event can be called probability. Application of probability. Some of the application of probability are predicting outcomes when you flipping a coin, choosing a card from the deck, throwing a dice, winning a lottery one in many millions. Formula to calculate the probability. Probability is equal to even by outcomes. Example of real life probability. Weather planning. A probability forecast is an event assessment of how likely an event can occur in terms of percentage, and record the risk associated with weather. Example: if there are 40% chances of raining, then the weather condition is such that 40 out of 100 days it has rained. Sports. In sports, analysis are conducted with the help of probability to understand the strength and weakness of the particular team or player. Example: a cricket coach evaluates a player's batting and bowling capability by taking his average performance in previous matches before planning him in the lineup. Thank you.